Following a Manhattan jury's finding that Donald Trump sexually abused and defamed writer E. Jean Carroll, there is a separate political question. Will any of this matter to voters? Ronna McDaniel, chair of the Republican National Committee, said this just moments after the jury's decision came down.
I do think the American people, though, are going to be focused on what's happening at our southern border, what's happening with inflation, what's happening in their lives under the Biden administration. And that's where I think the focus is going to continue to be for people looking at 2024 and ahead. I think we've got a long way until the primary process begins. We've got debates in August.
Now, if you're on the left, you may want to paint McDaniel's dismissiveness simply as denial. But remember this. The Manhattan DA's criminal indictment of Trump on charges of falsifying business records actually appears to have helped him in the polls. And remember the poll we mentioned last night? With Biden getting trounced in a hypothetical 2024 matchup with Trump, 45% saying they would definitely or probably vote for Trump versus just 38% for Biden. The same survey found a majority of Americans, same survey, 54% think Trump should face charges for his handling of classified documents after he left office. The same number believe Trump should face charges for his role in the events leading up to January 6th, and slightly more, 56%, say he should face charges over his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Think about that. That means 18% say they would still likely vote for Trump over Biden, even though they also think he should be charged. All of which is to say that for any other candidate, perhaps this civil finding of liability would be a campaign ender, but this is Donald Trump we're talking about. Joining me now, the perfect person to answer this question, former acting White House chief of staff for President Trump, who turned to become a bit of a Trump critic, Mick Mulvaney. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so just lay it out for us. I mean, how do you think this will impact, put aside the MAGA folks who, the hardcore MAGA won't care, far left won't care, that's not going to change any minds. Talk to us about the middle. Any room for movement here one way or the other?
It depends, Dan, on when you're asking. If you're asking about a Republican primary, I think it's unlikely to hurt him just because, again, he's going to get that same 35 or 40%. You go back, you've mentioned before about shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue. Those folks are going to vote for him anyway. I don't think it moves the needle there. More interestingly, though, is in the general election. I got to ask, if I had Ronna McDaniel on this program, I'd ask her, who did Donald Trump add today? Who wasn't going to vote for Donald Trump in a general election, but now might vote for him because he's been found liable of sexual assault? That person doesn't exist. So it cannot help but hurt him in a general election. The comparisons to what happened in Manhattan with the Manhattan DA, I don't think are accurate. Those charges were so weak, to use a bad pun, so trumped up that actually it evoked sympathy. I defended the president against those charges. This is different. This is a jury of ordinary citizens in New York City have listened to the evidence. Trump had a chance to present evidence. His lawyers did present evidence, and he was found liable for this. So it's a different thing. I don't think it hurts him in a Republican primary, but I do not think it can help him at all in a general election.
And the jurors didn't go crazy, right? I mean, in the sense that they didn't find him responsible for actual rape. They kept the punitive damages comparatively low, right? It wasn't like some $150 million verdict against Donald Trump. But let me play you, I want to read you a response from the Trump campaign, because this is what they're hoping is going to help them with this. They say the Democratic Party's never-ending witch hunt of President Trump hit a new low today in jurisdictions wholly controlled by the Democratic Party. Our nation's justice system now compromised by extremist left-wing politics. We've allowed false and totally made-up claims from troubled individuals to interfere with our elections, doing great damage. Make no mistake, the entire bogus case is a political endeavor targeting President Trump because he's now an overwhelming frontrunner to once again be elected president of the United States. I mean, he's trying to use this to his advantage. He's trying to get people to do exactly what you said happened with regard to the Manhattan charges, which is to say, this is too much, this has gone too far, and to have people who are right of center, in particular, saying, as a result, I'm going to support Donald Trump more. You don't think that those people exist?
This is where the Manhattan. No, I don't think
Yeah.
they exist because again, I think it's different. But this is where the Manhattan charges, the criminal charges, actually help Trump because they're so weak and they're so patently politically motivated, brought by somebody who ran for office, saying if you elect me, I'll indict Donald Trump. That it sort of undermines the credibility of every other thing that would come after that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.